Hello, everyone. My name is Maya Inarella, and I'm doing action research on how social and emotional learning is connected to students' success during phonics instruction in a first grade inclusion classroom. When we think about how these two things connect to one another, in my 3 years of teaching, I have seen students get stuck and feel challenged in their reading skills. A lot of this has to do with their phonics skills development. Some people might ask what changes will occur in students' behavior in the classroom and with their emotional regulation when social emotional strategies are implemented in phonics instruction. When these challenges for students occur, their interest in the lessons start to decrease. They don't want to try and answer the questions or participate in the lessons, as well as getting a feeling of discouragement. All of these feelings can lead to frustration and impact their confidence levels, not only about academics, but it also affects their self confidence. I've also seen students struggle with their speech, also be affected socially and emotionally due to their phonics skills. If children need to be asked to repeat themselves more than once, whether it by a teacher or their peers, they often get annoyed, frustrated, and want to shut down. The same can go for students that have an IEP or English language learners. By incorporating social emotional learning into these phonics lessons, my goal is to increase student participation, self confidence levels, as well as show the students that they can do hard things. I also want people to see that the ways in which we incorporate social emotional learning into phonics instruction can help with the students' confidence in their reading skills. It also allows for us teachers to teach students skills that they can take with them beyond the classroom. This study can be conducted whole group, small group, or one-to-one teaching. For this study specifically, it will be used in small group instructions, splitting up the students on their specific phonics instruction needs. The management plan is to use mixed methods, which include student work, such as phonics assessments. The data is collected The data collected is qualitative data, which are from me as the teacher, with behavioral observations, teacher reflections, as well as the phonics assessment scores. By doing this, it allows me to look at the perspective not just socially and emotionally, but academically as well, to help track my students' progress as well as make any changes necessary. All of this is one of the 4 stages on conducting action research, and it falls under the implementing action and collecting data. Sager and Williams state these 4 stages help bring to the surface the critical knowledge and insights to improve our practice and move us even closer to the goal of universal student success. The stakeholders in my action research plan are myself as the teacher, students, parents and guardians of the students, school administration, the special education staff, and the school counselor. Before any of them are involved and the study is conducted, consent is needed from everyone involved. In the 5 principles of research, it states, when done properly, the consent process ensures that individuals are voluntarily participating in the research with full knowledge of relevant risks and benefits. The role of the school administration is to give permission to conduct the study. The parents and guardians' role is to give me consent for their child to take part in the study, as well as support the practices that I am going to use in the research study. They will be allowed to give insight of how they think this has benefited and is benefiting their child in the middle and the end of the study through a survey. The student's role is that they're the main focus of the action research. They will have lessons taught through phonics instruction, which includes social emotional learning strategies. Their goal is to have increased self-confidence, gain communication skills amongst teachers and peers, have the desire to participate in the lessons, as well as have improvement in their reading skills. My role as the teacher is to teach the phonics instruction and include social emotional learning strategies into the lesson. My role also includes doing all the data collections, observations, and be willing to be flexible and quick to adjust my teaching instruction based on the data of my students are showing. It's critical that I always meet my students where they are and adjust what I'm doing to better benefit them and help them gain as much from the study as they can. The special education teacher's role is to know what study I'm conducting since I am an inclusion classroom, so that way they are allowed to give input as to how they think the students we share are doing and share the growths that they are seeing. Lastly, the school counselor's role is to be there for support, They are so knowledgeable in the social emotional strategies, they can share ideas as well as give input as to what they see in the students socially and emotionally, since they have to do mini lessons in the classroom at my school. The expected outcomes of my action research study include greater student confidence, increased and improved reading skills, an improvement in communication skills and classroom behavior by combining social emotional learning skills into my phonics instruction. With these expected outcomes, they are going to benefit all stakeholders involved. Students will gain the most out of this study. The students will not only grow academically, but as well as emotionally and gain skills that they can carry with them beyond the classroom, such as self control, how to control anger and frustration, as well as how to better communicate how and why they are having the feelings that they do. With myself as the teacher, I will gain effective strategies to support a group of diverse learners. Parents will see several positive changes as well as academic progress in their children in hopes that they will want to become more invested actively involved in their child's school life and their learning processes. Lastly, school leaders, special education staff, and school counselors will be able to use the research to help guide their own decisions to support inclusion classroom practices and other inclusion classrooms in the building, as well as improve their own instruction using strategies that have worked in my study that they can carry with them into their own instruction time. Action research will affect my professional practice far beyond this study. It's taught me how to observe at what is happening in my classroom, gather information from it, and use the information collected to either continue to do in the future or be flexible and confident enough to change my ways of teaching to meet the needs of all of my students. It has allowed me to become more thoughtful in my lesson planning as well. With this study in the future, I would love to try it with a different subject, such as math or writing, because those two can also cause social and emotional troubles. I would love to share this study with my grade level team to see if it works for their classes. I would also love to see how this would work in a kindergarten or second grade inclusion classroom to see how children a year or two, both younger and older, end up succeeding. I also can use this study in my classes to come and compare it from year to year because each group of students is going to be different. This has taught me that I can create solutions, act, and make changes through my own teachings and my observations in my own classroom. Action research has given me the confidence to grow as an educator, make a difference in all my students' learning, and gain confidence in my knowledge to bring to the table in grade level meetings. Thank you.